All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our third quarterfinal match between Stewie Carmen versus TheHaxor. This is definitely going to be such a clash of titans since both of them are quite incredible runners for the vanilla game. But let's see what's going to happen when this SMB3 gets all randomized and in this default bracket seat where there's no hammers breaking any locks and we are not going to watch any end cards. So this is Sharkit alongside with Growlf and in the commentary booth. So, hey Growlf, how is it going?
It is going wonderfully. We have, like you said, two very good runners of this game who are going off in a huge head to head battle. It's a best of three. It's going to be extremely exciting. Our runners are going to be getting started here in World 2, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Indeed, we get to see that Stewie just look out of the war map, and I guess that he's going to take another route. So he's going to gamble if this 6F1 is going to be the one that is going to break the lock. So he's going to be skipping like these levels, and maybe it's the thing he wants. But in the meantime, we have Haxor in 7-2, and basically it's a really tough level to start with, and Stewie just took a death right now.
Yeah, 7-2 definitely not an easy level just because of how long it does take. But Stewie Cartman showing that the other fortress was no easy route either. And, this could be a bit of a problem. We talked about previously, any death could be a huge factor on either side for these runners.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, Stewie, that just entered to the mushroom house, I guess that he wants to stick to this fire flower. He's not doing any damage boosting that you will normally see. But oh my god, that's unfortunate that he just took some damage right there. Um, right now, we get to see that Stewie might get actually a star kill. We're going to have like this orb situation right now. While Haxor is in 5F2, and I think that he's going to gamble if this is the luck. And oh no, Haxor is actually in the right fort, and Stewie is not going to the to the route that he thought it was going to be. So let's see what it's going to happen here because he's playing like all these extra levels, and Haxor is just entering 6-6 right now.
It definitely feels like there's a little bit of an issue on the side of Stewie Cartman, where he's already had a lot of issues with trying to get his internet up and running. He's trying really hard to do something that currently is just not working, and now he finds himself in 7-5, which is another really long level.
Yeah, we're definitely watching like the nightmare levels for the randomizer right at the beginning, and definitely it's oh no, that's unfortunate for Stewie's Carmen side that he just died to this jump, and Haxor also taking a death in 6-6 right almost like to the end of the level.
I'm not really certain why Stu Cartman is even playing this at this point. It looks like he should have an open route on the side of where like Haxor is. So I'm not sure what's going on here with Stewie Cartman. I don't know why he thinks he has to play all these extra levels because really all at this point it's doing is wasting a lot of time.
Indeed, definitely. This is going to give to Haxor a huge lead, but I'm trying to figure it out, like what's going on in Stewie's mind, because maybe he actually just thought that the lock was really next to the castle and that he needed to play, the fort. But right now, he's taking a lot of depth here in 7-5, and Haxor is in a really awkward position with these fire piranhas.
So very difficult levels on both sides for these runners. And Stewie Cartman, even though he has taken a different route so far, is going to have to go back and play 6-6 as well. So this is going to be a very trying first world for our runners. And I mean, it's 4 minutes in, and we're not even at the castle yet.
Indeed, and we have like this castle like being guarded by this fire bro, which Haxor actually managed it to do a a nice job to finish it out quickly. But yeah, Haxor is taking a massive lead here because Stewie's routing was kind of off, I guess. And oh my god, he just found those fire nippers in that pipe. Go away from there, Stewie. That's not the way.
No, this is a very trying time for him. I think he might go ahead and go for a game over here. It looks like he's not going to, but yeah, I think take a game over here. Go ahead and reset, and even look after that pipe again. Maybe see if there's something you've missed.
Yeah, definitely. Meanwhile, Haxor right now is finishing up this World 1. It was a quite long World 1, so um, maybe the next one is going to be a shorter one or a jet one. We never know in Randomizer, but we keep our hopes high.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of things that can go very badly in a randomizer. And unfortunately for Stewie Cartman, at this point, it's routing into some really disgusting levels. So somebody's going to have to figure out, or he's going to have to figure out, sorry, just how to get through this world, too. And this 7-5 is not letting him go anywhere. Maybe just check the pipe again.
Indeed, while Haxor just entered 7-6, one of the gatekeepers levels in the game, because you need to do like that clip, and if it doesn't come like first try, it can be like quite annoying.
Absolutely. And everything is based on a memory value. So if you don't get the right one, then you have to continue to retry and retry and retry and retry until you finally get the right value, which Haxor finally does. And you'll have to see it. Obviously, it's a great looking clip when it works. And is it worth the time? I think so. If not, you have to go through like 17 tries before it actually lets you, or before you start losing time that you would have basically had if you had just gone through it normally. So, I don't know. I like the clips. It keeps you out of trouble, and even if it does take those 17 or even 20 times, big deal.
Indeed, I mean it's a really nice trick to do, but it is really punishing when it takes so long. Right now we got to see Haxor in 3-7. He went for this item, like for this secret exit, and he just got an anchor. What do you think it's going to be like for this anchor growl?
It could be just about anything. I would think the way that the scene is working so far, it's going to be something like a star or a music box at this point.
I know that it's really common for the runners actually save that anchor until like the latter half of the game, just in case that anchor could be like a nice power up, like a flower, hammer suit. And right now, Haxor taking I think it was a really accidental death on 7-3. Meanwhile, Stu we actually found out like like the proper routing to this World 1 layout, and he's just entering now 6-6, which actually gave Haxor a little bit of a trouble. Let's see how Stewie works with this. Right now, Haxor just entering one of the pipes, making sure that he gets to skip some of the level. Or not, maybe that was the pipe, like it was beneath the rock, so he needs to keep playing some levels in this World 6.
Absolutely. There's a lot of levels in 6-6, or in World 6, I should say, and there's just a lot of things that could possibly go wrong, and especially depending on where the pipes are, it's going to require a lot more levels, and it looks like that's one that we're going to have this time.
Now is we just approaching as well to the World 2 by finishing up this World 6 airship. Maybe he's going to take a power up here. Yes, indeed, he is. Right now we have Haxor playing the waterfalls. All right, right now Haxor going to check up like that second pipe that it may actually take him to the promised land oh my god, he needs to actually play one of the forts because one of the bridges is not actually built up, and right now he has to get, ditch of his fire flower and get in the Tanuki suit so he actually gets out of 7F1. While Stewie Carmen entered in 7-6, and nope, the the clips are not coming on the mac and cheese. So let's hope that Stewie doesn't get like a stock on here like for a while. There you go. While Haxor flying on his way up to this pipe to start fighting the Boom Boom or 7F1 or 4 Nox.
Yeah, it takes a little bit longer for our runners to get through the 7F1. And, luckily for Haxor, he was able to get the Tanuki suit pretty quickly. And it looks like that's going to be the final fort. And 7F1 is paired up with 7F2. I'm sure Haxor very thankful for the item that he currently has.
Yeah, it might actually help him out to, try to skip like the first part of this 7F2. But luckily, like along the way, he's been picking up like two fire flowers. Like, I mean, I know that he took some damage like at the beginning, but sometimes you get like items like a star or something, and you always like to, stick to your flower and get a nice and easy like a fire kill on Momo.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things the Starman does really well is it keeps you out of danger for those first 15 seconds or so within the levels. So it actually is a huge benefit for having those stars, even though they're not really played and it's usually, oh, great, stars. Well, it actually keeps you protected. So I actually like the stars because, especially in a randomizer, you have no idea what's happening. And if there's a boss bet right out the gate, you can get through that very easily, very quickly.
Yes, indeed. And right now we get to see that both of the forts that Haxor actually played weren't required at all. So he needs to track back and get to this 3F1 fort, better known as the Door Fort. And, well, the Door 3 fort. And right now Stewie is actually going on his way. Well, after of this little marathon right now that is happening, um, he's going to, on his way to the final part of this World 6 layout, but I'm afraid that he doesn't know, the information that we actually have, that he needs to play like that first four that he saw, and, well, when he finds out, he must be feeling like really far behind now.
Yeah, definitely. Randomizer has a very interesting and difficult part to it, and that's where everybody always feels like they're so far behind. Like, it doesn't matter what you've done, if you make one mistake, even if you've had 13 really good decisions, if one mistake is wrong, you believe that your opponent actually got 14 correct and now you're behind for some reason.
Yeah, indeed. And right now, Stewie just died to 7F2. Like, he tried to, doing some platforming on here, but he just slipped on the corner from that rotodisc, and right now he's on his way to fight Boom Boom. But Stewie, there's bad news. After this is not going to be required at all. So let's see, like how much it's going to. How much it's going to take to Stewie to actually find out which is the right fort. Right now we can see Haxor in 8F. Oops, just a little bit of damage right there, but it's okay. He can get a flower right now, and he's on his way to Boom Boom after this nice conveyor P-Speed. By the way, that's a really tricky P-Speed to get.
Yeah, definitely a tricky P-Speed to get, as well as an absolute horrific time trying to get the cycle
because at least with a vanilla game, you know where that enemy is going to be. You know which one it is. In randomizer, if you're willing to take a damage boost there, that's one of the few ways I know to actually get through the cycle, almost pretty commonly at that point.
All right, and we get to see that Stewie played the coin ship, and he got a cloud with it. So maybe that's going to help him out to catch up a little bit afterwards. And now he's playing out the actual fort that he needed to build a bridge and finish up World 6. So maybe that's going to be a little bit of an advantage because we didn't see him actually enter into Fort Knox. So hopefully we can actually see him catching up a little bit. Ooh, just about mentioning that the anchor could be like a really nice power. Apparently it's a hammer suit, so let's go.
Yeah, hammer suit, a very, very good thing to have. And it looked like Stewie Cartman does have 2 on his side, so that's going to be a big help for sure. And okay, what an interesting World 6. So he is going to have to go back through the pipes, but fortunately for him, okay, maybe unfortunately, he's going to have to, well, probably use a hammer here, but then he should be able to go to the pipe that takes him away from 6-9, where that fortress currently is, and that, of course, is Fort Knox. So, that'll be a bit of a help, and I'm sure that he's going to appreciate not having to play an extra level here.
Yeah, indeed, he will appreciate for sure that he's not going to, play Fort Knox and he's going to get rid of that hammer suit. But unluckily, because I think that he forgot which pipe he entered, and just to make sure that that pipe that he looked out, it wasn't a trolley one that it would take him to the beginning. It's really nice to you just get a double check just in case, but yeah, that might actually take him some time because right now HaxOr was in the second piranha level and he's making his way to the world this World 3 airship that it's the World 2 airship.
Yeah, and of course, waiting for him at the end of this will be the Ludwig von Koopaline, which is not a terrible fight. Sometimes it could get a little trickier based on if Ludwig has Earthquake, if he has 5 hits, whatever the case may be. So with that, we are going into our next world. Get your guesses in chat as to which world is coming up next.
I'll be thinking that we're going to have World 4 for this next world, like a vanilla World 4.
I'm going to have to go with World 5, and as Pro A mentioned in the chat, Hammer Brother in the castle. Thought you ought to know. That's a specific to the Hammer Brother suit. We love to see those.
Ooh, and Stewie just taking a death in 8F because he tried to jump to that conveyor belt, but it wasn't like a high enough, so he just slipped from the corner. Like apparently all the corners on this game are quite buttery for Stewie because he's been taking a couple of deaths that way, but right now he's recovering really nice and he's going for his encounter with Boom Boom. Meanwhile, HaxOr is pretty much like in the same boat, but for 7F3. I mean 6F3. Oh my god.
Keynote in the chat, and I think something that is worth calling out here is you feel like Stewie Cartman at this point is maybe just not playing 100%. He's worried about the internet issues. He's got that on his mind. He's got the broadband issues going on. So hopefully he can kind of get that out of his head, kind of reset, especially after this first game. He's already made a mistake. There's a very real chance, we talked about this before, that he's probably not going to win with those mistakes, and especially with the game over in the first world. So, you kind of have to reset, get through this seat, get ready to go, get ready for game number 2, and focus on pushing it to at least the 3rd game. Don't even worry about winning that 3rd game yet. Just focus on winning number 2 and get back into the place where you're running like you want to be running.
Yeah, a lot of things when it comes to technical issues can actually, just put a runner like in a really, bad mood or something like that. But but hopefully like he gets to recover, shake it off, dust it off, and continue on the match. Right now he takes an unfortunate death because of the 610 Paragumba, but he's actually well, I think he didn't mean to enter to that 5 transition, I guess, but if that's the case, maybe it was like a checkpoint because he already cleared 610. And right now, well, he takes a hammer with him from the second Piranha plant level, and he's on his way to this World 4 where he's going to encounter the Haxor. That he's pretty much like struggling about like which pipe is going to lead him to the Wendy Island.
Absolutely. We're going to be looking forward to seeing what he can do here in just a little bit. And World 4 is, looking pretty good for our runners so far. Or I guess World 3, Vanilla World 3. Looking pretty good so far. And Haxor's just really putting on the pressure. He was brilliant in group stages. He was able to pull off a lot of really nice wins. Just really played at a high level and extremely fast. I remember one of his was in like the 27-minute range. So a very impressive runner so far, and he's continuing to show that here as well.
Yes, indeed. Haxor is a really talented runner, and like in the vanilla game, in Randomizer, like in this tournament, he has shown like a lot of his skills, and well, like he's just pretty much like soaring like through every level, and yeah, maybe like a little couple of additional or extra levels that he had to play, but it's randomizer, so you pretty much like do the same thing like most of the time. And but he's definitely showed that those deaths in the early 6-6 that we get to see didn't mean anything to him right now because he's doing a fantastic job right now.
Absolutely, and that's just part of where the mental game comes in, of knowing what you can do, and things happen. They're behind you, just keep pushing forward, and that's really the mindset you got to have going into this.
Indeed, right now Haxor just going to the pipe to encounter with Wendy, while Stewie like it's basically on his way like to figure out like which one is the pipe, and we get to see that it's going to be like a vanilla Wendy fight because this is pretty much like her airship in her arena, and yeah, like 10 shots from the fire flower and you're done. Impressively done by Haxor right now.
Yeah, definitely a Fred moment, as that was the World 3 airship. So we like to give credit to the creator of the randomizer in that regard. And get your guesses in chat for what's coming up next. We've had 2, 6, 7, and 3 so far. What do you guys think?
I'm sticking with World 4.
I will have to go with the one that holds Roy at the end, World 5. Kind of like to see some Sky Zone here soon. And in answer to a guess or a question in chat, it is always 10 fireballs. That is the vanilla amount that it does take. The same is true for Bowser. He is 35. We haven't changed that at all. What we have changed is that the Koopalines will take different amounts of hits, but not fireballs yet, although that has been suggested to be a randomized option in the future.
Oh, and this is interesting from the hand stages, that that in randomizer, all the items that we get like at the end of the hand stages are going to be randomized, and right now for this seed we're going to have a hammer, so it's kind of sad that they're not going to be able to break logs or build bridges with those hammers, but definitely that would be like a really game changing for the worlds that we would actually need them, like World 2, World 6, or World 3, especially like with the double hammer play. But right now Haxor is playing the levels that he needs to get to the other side of this giant island, and so he can actually make sure that he builds the bridge that he needs to go to the castle, while Stewie is pretty much entering to Wendy's castle right now. And all right, so It was pretty much a really short World 4 layout, so let's see if actually Stewie can catch up a little bit, while HaxOr is... I think he's going to play all 3 Hammer Bros. Well, right now we get to see Stewie just had a little bit of a struggle with the Wendy fight, but he's okay. He's all good. He's just finished it out like this War 3 fight with Wendy, while HaxOr is entering for F2. Maybe it was kind of French vanilla, considering it was the second. Well, actually, there were both of the fours like from this war, like from the vanilla version of the game, like on this seed. So we'll be pretty much catching that this is going to build the bridge that is required to go to the castle, and yeah, just like that, HaxOr is pretty much kind of one world ahead of Stewie right now. He's getting a really nice P-Speed strat for the Speedrunners edition, since that's pretty much like the type of ROM that we're using, because the auto-scrollers are basically off. So Stewie getting a really nice clip in that corner.
Yeah, we've taken a lot of the auto scrollers off. The only big difference is that we have 5.9 and Atlantis that still have those auto scrollers turned on. So we will be looking for those, of course. But you're right. Other than that, none of the ships have auto scrollers on. A lot of the other things don't have auto scroller. So it really provides for a much quicker pace. And of course, in my opinion, that makes it more exciting.
Yeah, it is. Right now we get to see HaxOr enter into 3-4. It's a really nice and short level, so this mustn't be like such a problem for him to actually pass out, like we just barely see, while Stewie's entering 6-1. Oh, apparently the Twisty Castle is going to be required to get to the Skyland part of this World 5 layout. While HaxOr is doing really nice in 4-1 level, while Stewie is fighting up the Chungos in World 4.
Yeah, those are a couple Hammer Brothers you just don't want to have to deal with. But another hammer for these guys. It never seems to fail that when the hammers are not going to be useful, they come out plenty.
Yeah, indeed, that's basically one of the golden rules of Randomizer. Like, whether a accent is like the hammers are not like that much required, there'll be like plenty of them. So you hate to see it.
Yeah, you really do. It makes it a lot harder for the runners because they have, wasted inventory space. If there are items that they need to use, it's a lot quicker to go to an item right next to you. But even with all those hammers, there's a lot further that you have to go for it. Plus, it's a little bit of a problem when you have more than one inventory items. When you just want to, or one page, I should say, you just want to look real quick at what you have. Now you have all these wasted items you just can't use.
Yeah, they're pretty much like looking pretty much like Hammer Bros by this point, like carrying a lot of hammers, and they are not going to throw them at anybody, so pretty much they're a waste of space in their inventory.
Absolutely, and there's no crafting in this game, so there's no ways that we could use like 3 or 4 hammers to make a hammer suit. Unfortunately, that's not a possibility either.
That is a really interesting proposal, like making hammer suits out of hammers. That that would be really awesome to watch, but yeah, it's not going to be possible on this game.
We'll have to call it something like Super Mario Craft 3 or something. I don't know.
Indeed. Well, Stu is actually entering out to 3-4 as well, and yeah, he's pretty much like beginning this world fight while Haxor is actually finishing it. Sort of has a really impressive leading here, so he's just finishing up this 1-6 beta level like that, really amazingly done.
So Hexer going through World 5-0 ship just blazingly fast. This is another one of those spreads that we call out because we have a World 5-0 ship.
Indeed, and Roy actually got a little bit of, a lot of hits to take on, so he could be defeated. I guess it was like a 4-hitter or something. I think I missed one, or I'm adding up one, but I know that it was a really long fight for Haxor. Luckily, the earthquakes were actually disabled because we have, those heavy couplings. While doing some stomp kills on them could be a problem.
Absolutely. Anytime that you look into one of the bigger fights that exist with like Lemmy or Wendy, and the longer you stay in that arena, the worse and worse and worse it gets. You're looking to get out of those really quick. That's where the flower helps. But then when it's a 5-hit and they have Earthquake, obviously not a big deal for Lemmy, but that becomes a huge problem for our runners.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now we get to see Haxor entering to the 1F. Pretty vanilla, to be honest. But let's see if the lock that he's going to break for this World 1 layout is going to be required or not, because well, it is going to be required to actually skip 2 levels, so yeah, that's a really nice decision for Haxor. And now he's in 5-1, while Stu is in 6F2, the Ice Fort.
One of the biggest call out here right now is that it's really what happened in World 1 is the difference of what our runners have right now.
Haxor right now is in 6-7, a level that it's actually an arrow scroll as well, but he's going to be able, to get past through all the levels since the arrow scrolling thing is actually disabled. So a little bit of platforming here and there, and he's out of there. Haxor pretty much wanted to have like a music box or something so he could skip like that pro fight. And oh my god, the irony, he just gets it like right when you're pretty much like finishing up the seed, like because in World 8 there's no Hammer Bros, so there's no actual point to be using a music box right there.
No, absolutely, but that is a bit of a quicker World 1, so not a bad thing, I think, for Stewie Cartman here. Obviously, he's going to have to play really well. There's no items that's really going to help here at this point. He's just got to get to World 8 as quickly as he can, and if there's any chance for TheHaxor to have a bit of a harder time with World 8, Stewie has to capitalize on that. At this point, maybe go for the play that doesn't make sense and just do your best. Maybe try to find Bowser as quickly as you can, and just really, really hope for the best at this point. Because, I mean, you have to know that you've got a bit of a problem going into World 8 here when you have a game over in World 1. So, obviously, we're going to be looking for the best here for Stewie. But with that, let's get our guesses in for chat as to what we think, how many bridges we think are going to take us to Bowser. I got to go with 2 here.
I'm going to say there's going to be 1. And right now, in this World 8, we get to see this hand tile right now that just grabbed Haxor, but he took an intentional death, and a really impressive call on Haxor's side that he decided to to use a frog suit, and this is pretty much like the only level in the whole game that this is pretty much like a really nice power up to use, because you're pretty much like, swimming all the way to the boom boom fight, and taking like that the damage boost in that final section, so he can, speed up his way to the boom boom fight. It is a really nice call on Haxor side.
Absolutely, and the frog suit's not going to be good for a lot of things. I know a lot of people like to say it's the best suit and all, but realistically, it's great for in the water and not much else. And with us being in the Lava Kingdom, it feels a little weird having that here, but a really good decision on his part, like you said, to go ahead and use that. Use the items that you've got. You're not going to be able to use them again, and make them count.
Indeed. Well, Haxor is trying to find out which one is going to be the pipe that leads to Bowser Castle. We get to see that there were like at least like 3 locks, like in all the screens that we got to see, like from the dark room, and this hand bridge had actually 2 unnecessary locks, because they were pretty much like in the elbow section of the hand bridge. So this might be a really like fast World 8, so unfortunately for Stewie, this is not a good news for him, because he's really behind, and World 8 won't be doing like his equalizer job unless Haxor, has some issues with, like, about routing or something.
Yeah, the best thing that Stewie can hope for at this point is for the Haxor basically to forget how to play. I mean, there's a lot of hammers like we can see on Stewie Cartman's side. Unfortunately, they do not do anything at this point. With the bracket stages, we don't have the ability to break hammers or use hammers to break locks. So that's not going to be a factor here. And at this point, the Haxor has had just so much time in World 8. It's going to take a complete miracle for Stewie Cartman to get back into this. But there are some levels we haven't seen yet. I think we're still missing one of the hand stages. We saw 2 at the beginning. Okay, never mind. It's on the L stage there. So there's really just not a whole lot that's going to prevent the Haxor from getting where he needs to go. And at this time, it's just a matter of time of figuring out which pipe leads me to Bowser and what else do I have to do. And he's already played a lot of fortresses as well. I think we're running out of time here for this race.
Yes, indeed. I think that yeah, these oh my god, what are we looking at, Growl, from Haxor's side?
This is the sheer crux of everything that we've done today. If you want to define this run in one level, it is this one. It is Atlantis. It is a required Atlantis. You cannot pass this level because it is in a sprite. So this level has to be played. It is an auto-scroller. It's one of the lost levels. The auto-scroller cannot be turned off. So our runners are going to have to endure like a minute and a half of just absolute torture as they can't go fast.
Absolutely, yeah. The thing that it's required just breaks my heart like a little bit, because you never want to watch like this level like in a race seat, because, well, for us as viewers, we might actually want to see like, the racers reacting to this, but as a runner, yeah, this is not definitely the level that you want to see, like that is required to go to Bowser Castle, because many lives have been taken on this level so far, but Haxor actually manages to get out of there, and yeah, he's pretty much just looking where the pipe is to Bowser, and I think that he has found it. So let's see how many bridges were, and this was 1 bridge.
It is indeed, and it looks like a pretty easy one on the side of the Haxor. This will be one that he comes to and blows through with the P-Speed strats. He's used to this level. He knows exactly what he's looking for here. 4-4 is just not going to have a chance.
Indeed, right now Haxor is just pretty much approaching to the finish line, while Stewie is, like doing like the normal thing that a runner in World 8 Randomizer would do, like trying to make his way to the Bowser Castle, but unluckily, we already know that what the answer is, because Haxor is right now in Bowser Castle getting ready to actually to finish it up this seed.
And this is ridiculous. I mean, Stewie Cartman has gained a lot of time. He's in World 8 with the TheHaxor, doing just a fantastic job of doing his best to catch up. Obviously, we have an Atlantis that is coming up soon for him. I think we may have a forfeit at that point. Can't say that I blame him for sure. But the TheHaxor gets the mac and cheese. We're going to see a real quick Bowser fight here in just one moment. And, Stewie Cartman may go ahead and continue to play this. I think that's a really good idea. Go ahead and play it. Get yourself into a better place mentally, get yourself ready for game 2, and then come back and do your best.
Yeah, definitely. Get out your GGs out in chat for Haxor right now that he just won the first round of this match. Absolutely, we just got to see like a high Bowser by Bowser, and yeah, we're let's see if actually what's going to happen like from Stewie's side. Since maybe he's going to be finishing up the seed, or he's just going to take a forfeit and move on to the another one.
Yeah, I like the idea of going ahead and playing it. He's going to find Atlantis here. We'll see if he decides to play it. It looks like he is so far, so I definitely applaud him for that. There's a lot of things that are going through his head right now, and really the only thing he needs to turn on is SMB3 Randomizer. Everything else needs to take a vacay at this point, because he's got race number 2 coming right up. And honestly, I know what Stewie Cartman can do. I know what he has abilities to do. I know what he is capable of. And really all we're asking for is that show up. We understand how the randomizer can go. You make one wrong move and that's going to be the end of it for you. But honestly, if you've got a chance to make something happen, you got to take it. And I hope to see him do that here in this next one.
Indeed. The sad part about like this Atlantis enemy layout is that basically like that blooper is not giving like Stu like any chance as well. He was really lucky in there, like trying to escape him from his evil attacks, but being a small Mario in Atlantis is pretty much like a death sentence. I don't want to jinx it, but definitely it's really scary to be small Mario in Atlantis, since it's an auto scroller. You will have to play all over again if you die, and it's something that you don't want to see at all.
Absolutely. It looks like, just a horrible, horrible level for these guys. But I really applaud Stewie here for this decision. The TheHaxor, he played a great game. 40 minutes is a long time for these runners, but 40 minutes is what it took to get through this seed, and there's just not a whole lot that you can do about it. There was a lot of really tricky levels. We saw 7-5, Atlantis, 6-6. We saw some really crazy levels come out. So, there's only so much that you can do. You can only be so fast. So the TheHaxor's got to keep that up. But I love this decision on Stewie Cartman's side. He saw Atlantis. He said, okay, I'll play Atlantis. That's fine. Now he's gotten into 4-4. No problem. He's going to get through this. He's used to this. And then he's going to get that hammer suit. He's going to go take down Bowser. It's going to be a finished seed, and this one's in the books. Now you focus on game number 2, and you bring all these things back together. You get your vengeance on game number 2. You make it pay for the game over, the issue with the routing, and you really stick it in the next one, and let's push to game 3.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully this is going to cheer up like Stu a little bit, make him shake everything off, and he's definitely going to make it. I mean, I know Stewie as well that he's a really incredible runner for sure. He has done like a really amazing seeds, like even considering like some of the nightmares levels, like 7-5, 6-6, and all that nonsense of 5-9 in Atlantis. Like he's actually just pulled out a sub 35 like out of nothing. Even with those those levels in the seed, so he's definitely a really nice runner, but he just needs to shake everything that happened like before the race off, and get a better like mindset. And right now he's going to get ready for this race number 2, so hopefully we get to see race number 3 as well. So yeah, looking forward for it. Take out your GGs out for Stewie as well.
Yes, please definitely get your GGs out in chat for Stewie. What a fight to come all the way back. He had a game over in game number one, in world number one, I should say, and ended up making it a 3-minute, 7-second game. Or, I'm sorry, 4-minute, I can math. But a 4-minute game is not terrible. I mean, with how long it took in that first world, that's exactly where the time was lost, basically, that we see at the end now. So, you just keep doing this. You
Yeah, it
forget
was
about that
definitely
first
rough.
world.
So I know that in World 8, you could actually just go to Bowser without playing a fort. And the reason I know that is because there were 2 levels that you had to play in front of Bowser. So I'm sure if we go back and look at the seed, you could have skipped all the forts, played Atlantis, and then played 4-4.
Alright, we're going to just take a few minutes here, so our runners can just shake everything up, because indeed it was a really long seed. Like, it was a really long World 6, World 7, World 3, and definitely our runners need a moment, to cool off and reboot themselves and just start out like this new seed. So we're going to be starting out like the next race in a few. So get around, guys.
Oh, I'm not even going to be that nice. Don't leave. You can't leave. There is game number 2 coming up here in just one moment. We are getting this started just as quickly as we can. We've got the room open. We're getting the runners in as quickly as possible. And we're going to be getting this rolled up and started. So literally, if you need a break, go take care of things right now. But as soon as we get this back, you're not going to want to miss the action. I can promise you that.
All right, so the seed has been rolled, and we're going to start out the next match in a few. So uh, I would like to ask you to our chat, like, which word is going to be finishing up like the, I mean, starting out this new seed. I will say that it's going to start out with a nice word 7. I definitely enjoy watching, the pipe hell, like I like to call it, because you don't have like any items, you don't have like any advantage like having a clouds or something, so you're pretty much like just going to make your way to the castle. So we're definitely going to start out like this new race shortly. So let's see what we getting here.
Absolutely. We just got the runners started, so here in about 20, 30 seconds, we'll get that up on the screen. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and get our guesses in. It looks like we've got some of the guesses in. I know there's a lot more than just 5 people in the chat, though, so come on, get your guesses into chat. I got to go with World 7 here. Let's get something interesting.
Alan Ferrari just mentioned like World 3 start with a required Atlantis. Oh my god, that's sadistic.
Yeah, that is a bit of a nightmare start. Atlantis would be a long one, 7-5, 7-9, 7-2 is not an easy one to get started with, 5-3, 7-6, 7-1. Any of those would be very tumultuous for sure. So we'll have to wait and see if this one is nearly as bad as the last one is. I mean, it took HaxorR, who was one of the fastest runners coming out of groups, 40 minutes. That's just unheard of. Absolutely crazy. But, I mean, a great run on his part. It just was that long of a run. So if we get any kind of a start like that or another seed like that, we're going to be here a while.
Alright, and with our runners just starting out the seed, we get to see that it's a World 3 layout, and basically we have 5F2 as our first fort, or at least the first level that they actually encounter out, because there was a 5 at the beginning, but our runners, just decided to, apply one of the golden rules as well, that if you see a fort, you have to play a fort.
Yeah, that's one of those things you do not want to be wrong about, because if you see a fort and you don't play that fort and your opponent does and it ends up being required, then that's something that you're just wasting time on and you've got to come back from it.
Indeed, and right now we get to see both of our runners just enter out to the Navy, and pretty much like they're really close to each other, like they're pretty much fighting up with Boom Boom. HaxorR might be taking like a slight lead with some 5 seconds, I guess. Alright, now it's time to do the exploration pipes right now, so let's see how this goes.
Yeah, and these runners aren't even 5 seconds apart at this point, it's 2. So you're hoping that the pipe you need to get to is the closer one, obviously. But we have to just wait and see at this point. It looks like 2-5 is going to be coming up for both of our runners. So not a terribly hard level. Looks like HaxorR has decided to go for a mushroom, whereas Stu Carmen said, nah, I'm good with Small Murray, let's go. And with that, he will be the first to get through 2-5. So now the leadership change in Stewie's favor. He's coming off of a hard loss, and it's nice to see him firing this early, this fast.
And speaking of 7-2, like being an early level, indeed, like here we are, just watching this.
Absolutely, and we probably won't see any clips here. There is a possibility to do a clip on the music note blocks there, or even down here. So Stewie now with an item, we'll see if he goes for a clip. Looks like he doesn't get it, decides to go ahead and not waste any more time and get going.
That was a really nice jump, like from HaxorR's side, but we all know that that's pretty much like like he needed like a bigger jump to actually make it through this huge gap. So we get to see that HaxorR didn't actually get the power up in here, so he just going on his way like as a small Mario, while Stewie was able to, catch up a power up in here. And well, yeah, HaxorR is just really behind his tail right now, because Stewie is going to meet Wendy shortly.
Absolutely. And this is one of those things you just love to see because we've already got a huge fight between these two. It's the quarterfinals. It's not rounds anymore. It's not groups. It's not the easier stages where you have hammers breaking locks. We don't have any of that here. We've got the best of the best duking it out for a chance at a pot of the total I think was like $400 or something. So these guys are playing for money. They're in it for real and they want to win. And their opponent is the only person that's standing between them and going to the semifinals.
Yeah, definitely. And we get to see that this was a really, really kind and friendly Wendy with just being one hitter. So, Stewie didn't go for the off-screen grab. Even he had a tail, but it's okay. He just finished it out like the fight. And yeah, get out your guesses in chat. Like I was going to be like the next one. I'm going to say it's going to be World 5.
I'm going to go with World 2. I think that'd be interesting to see after the Oasis, and definitely a trickier place for sure. We saw Stewie Cartman with a little bit of an issue with it last time. Let's see if he can get it this time.
And yeah, like you just mentioned, it was World 2, so nicely done by Stu by that doing like that duck jump that made him able to touch like that road to disc, while Haxor wasn't like that fortunate and took a little bit of the damage here, but he's on his way to fight Boom Boom, while Stewie is going to check out what it's that two number 2 tile, and it's 5-3.
5-3 is going to take him just a moment, but of course he is super fast. And right now, he is just playing this like a man ready to win. He has been on fire. He's had power-ups the majority of this game. He took a couple of damage boosts, which I don't mind at all. And he's got to be careful with this boss pass, but again, just not going to matter. He's ready to play.
Yeah, indeed. And Haxor also taking some damage because of those nasty Paragoombas, but they are both like doing an incredible job, like going through this level. And yeah, this is going to be like such an exciting match because they're not far behind from each other. But oh no, just Haxor just taking a death in a like. That's going to be like a really annoying death for Haxor because he was pretty much like in the middle part of the second hallway from this level, so yeah, that's an ouch one.
That is one you absolutely hate to see on the side of Haxor. That's going to be a huge loss of time on his side. Like you said, he was at the bottom, he was almost through it, and that rogue fireball just took a huge loss for him. So Haxor now having to play through 5-3 again. Of course, he's going to be getting through this as quickly as he can. But Stewie Cartman is just going to be able to use this time to really build up an advantage. And knowing Stewie, he knows what he has to do. He knows he's got to push this all the way to Bowser's Castle. And I really want to see something good come out of him, because that could push Game 3 if this continues.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be like such an exciting quarterfinal match, like if we actually get to see like a race 3. But right now we get to see Stewie with a really vanilla situation here, like with the World 2 airship, like being the World 2 airship, and the World 2 as well. So a little bit of red in here, like in all these seed so far.
So Stewie doing an absolutely astounding job of going for a fire kill as well as the jump kill. If you can do both at the same time, it should help if you're able to do it very seamlessly, like we just saw from Stewie. And with that, he is pushing about a 50-second lead right now. That is huge for him. He's about a level and a half at this point ahead. And he's going into World 3. Get your guesses in the chat. What's coming up next? I'm going with World 1. We'll go backwards at this point. And Stewie Cartman's just playing a lot better than we saw out of him last game, and for that, I am excited to see what he has left to go.
Indeed, we're watching pretty much like Stewie in a really better position, maybe like for his mindset, and just he definitely is proving that he just he did shook off like that what happened like in race 1, so he's doing like a really fantastic job like in here. We're actually doing also a nice fire kill on his end to Morton, so he is pretty much catching up, and Stewie decided to go to the coin ship, and I guess we have trolley pipes in here because the four of them were pretty much like really close to each other. So this is going to be such a really long World 6. And right now we get to see Stewie in 7F2 doing an amazing star strat.
Based on what we saw in the last game, the only question I have is who is this? And what else can he pull off? Because he is just showing off his skill. He's showing off, hey, you know, I am still an SMB3 runner, I am still an SMB3 randomizer, and I am still a quarterfinalist at this point. And he is playing like he wants this. And I love seeing it so much because he is playing at such a high level right now. And, you know, the HaxOr death on 5-3 could mean the difference between this game and push you into the next spot in this match, which will of course be a game 3.
Alright, right now we got to see a divergence in the routings for both Stewie and HaxOr, because HaxOr didn't go back and play the fourth. He just decided to, you know, continue what's going on in the pipe, and he encountered A2. Let's see if the fourth was required at all, and we get to see that there's no lock inside, so maybe, just maybe, this fourth was actually required for HaxOr, and he's going to track back.
Wow, yeah, I love this decision from Stewie.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're absolutely fine. I was just saying I love this play from Stewie. He's playing at such a great level right now. And he saw a fort, he played the fort, he got through it the first time, and fast. He got through 7F2 very, very fast. That's got to feel good for his nerves. That's got to feel good on his side of saying, hey, I'm not done yet. Game 2 is mine. Let's go.
Indeed, and we get to see that the Stewie is basically cleaning out like the pros from this World 6, and maybe if he gets a hammer, this is going to be another advantage for Stewie, because HaxOr right now is trapped in 7-5, and look at that, just like that he gets a hammer, he's going to be able to skip this level.
So once again, we have such a huge advantage. You know, we had HaxOr, it's like, oh wait, is that enough? Is that going to be enough? If 7F2 is just not required, then that's going to be a huge play on the side of Stewie to use that World 6 hammer. I love the call there. He just got it, used it, perfect. Now you're moving on. And 7F2, you've already taken care of it. If that's a fortress that's required, boom, you've got a huge lead at this point.
Indeed. We're going to find the answer like shortly after Stewie finishes up this 1-6. But I'm actually thrilled if it was a good shot, a good call from Stewie to play the fort first, or, you know, HaxOr can be like really lucky enough, and that luck is not going to be required at all. So let's see how this happens.
Absolutely, we're going to have to wait and see for sure on that side. But for Stewie Cartman, even if not, I almost have to feel and have to believe that that's one of those levels that you kind of get a little bit of a grin on your face when it goes as well as it just did for Stewie. So if you're feeling good, you've gone through 7F2, you still have a lead. Obviously he doesn't know that, but he still has a lead. And the HaxOr still doesn't know if that's a required fortress or not. If it is, that is a lot of transitions he's going to have to go back through across World 6. And that death on 1-6 does mean HaxOr is going to have to play it again as well.
Yeah, indeed. Like, I don't know if it was intentional, considering that he just pulled out a P-Win and he can, you know, fly all on his way, like, in the upper section of 1-6. But if the fort was required, this is going to be like a huge, it's going to be huge for Stewie. This is pretty much what he actually needed to happen for this race too. So let's see.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, he's in World 3 now. World 3's airship, I should say, with World 6, which means Lemmy's going to have a wide open arena. He's going to have no issues going after Lemmy. He's going into World 4. We have ourselves a game.
Indeed, and we get to see that HaxOr look out like everything was quite like empty, or, you know, like everything was clean in the latter half of World 6, so he knew that the fort might be required actually, so he needed to track back and play those cone ships and, you know, then get to the castle. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, in here we have a tight race right now.
Yeah, and at this point, this is really quickly becoming Stewie's to lose. You know, he is just really playing well. Haxor finds the fort. It is required. 7F2 now up on the side of Haxor. And this is just time on the clock for Stewie. He's just putting this money in the bank. And if he needs to make a withdrawal later because he has a small issue with the level, big deal. He's going to play 3F1 here. Likely he's going to have to play another fortress. He's going to have to go figure out which one he wants to do. If he takes the path along one world fortress, then he should be able to get to both the fortresses relatively easily. And of course, that's 2 extra levels, but we'll have to wait and see if all 3 forts are required or if this one will take him home. Either way, I mean, Stewie's just really putting on the pressure now, and I love to see it.
Yes, indeed. We get to see that this wasn't the 4 required at all, but he did a really nice start kill on Stewie's end. So right now, Stewie's in 2-4, a really nice catch on that Paragoomba. And Haxor is just going on his way to play 3-6. This level we didn't get to see it because Stewie actually went out for the bottom level. That, if I'm not mistaken, it was one of the World 2 levels as well. So I don't even remember right now. That just happened like 5 minutes ago, but it's okay. Now we get to see Stewie in the Ice Fort while Haxor is just finishing up 3-6.
Indeed, so as Stewie Cartman takes on 6F2, he's at 14 minutes, almost 15 minutes, and he's currently working on world number 4. A drastic change from what we saw in the last seed. So far, this is going every which way for Stewie Cartman, and he's just really doing well. I like the decision. He's got through where World 1's fortress normally would be. Now he's playing where 1-4 normally would be. He's going to have to play 1-3 next if he has to do it. Either way, I mean, that's just really taking down the time, and now he's got a coin chip and another level, and then that's it. He's going to be looking at a fight with Larry in just moments.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see if actually Haxor gets, like the same idea of playing like that fort, and especially, or he's going to play, the extra level that it was before the other fort that we get to see. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I have a feeling he will probably take the same route that Stewie did. There's just really not a way to avoid it. Either you play 1-1-1-2, or you play where he did, which was World 1 Fortress. If you go after the top one, obviously you're going to have to go around and play the other one. And then that would, of course, be a 3-fort required, just based on what you've played. So, Haxor taking probably the same route. It's a good call.
Yeah, definitely. Right now we get to see Stewie just enter into this, I think it's a World 1 airship as well, another vanilla situation here. He gets a nice safety leap, I guess, and then he's going to meet up Larry right now.
Indeed, Larry the lightweight.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine, go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to mention that it was just a one-hit Larry. Like you were mentioning too, it's a lightweight.
Yeah, Larry lightweight, just not a problem here. Now, we've seen 1, 2, 3, and 6 so far. We've got something coming up here, 4, 5, or 7. All 3 of those have the propensity of being very dangerous, very scary, very sticky situations. And Stewie Cartman's just undeterred at this point. I don't think he's taken a single intentional or unintentional death for that matter. And he's really playing at a high level right now. He's got this.
Yeah, definitely. And we get to see right now Stewie just entering 7-8. Let's see if he's going to grab, the item in the bonus stage, or he's just, just going to make his way to the end of the level. And let's see. Apparently he's going to get the... Oh my god, it's a lead. So... yeah.
Not the worst that you can possibly get there, but I like the call from Stewie to go for that. It is a bit of a shortcut, especially when you don't know what enemy set is there, you don't know how to get the P-Speed strat there, so you kind of take a different route, and it keeps you a bit safer. I think it's a good call.
Yes, indeed. And right now we get to see Stewie in this pipe transition, and oh my god, I think that they have to play the tower because the blue fort that that has, you know, like the answer to break this lock, like right before the castle. It was in the land part of this Skyland world. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense, but you know, he needs to go his way back to the land part of this layout and play the fort, and then go to the pipe and get to finish up this World 5. It's quite a little bit of interesting. I'm not sure if I actually have seen that happening in a while.
Yeah, not something that we see all that often, but a very interesting World 5. And obviously, we just talked about it being a very tricky situation for our runners, and now we have it. So World 5 is going to be a long one for our guys. Even though we had a 16-minute and a half halftime, this second half of this race could be a lot longer. We may get close to that 40 mark again.
Yes, indeed, definitely. Even with I think that the worlds that are coming up next are World 3 and I mean World 4 and World 7. This is going to be pretty much like going to extend a little bit like the length of the seed. So right now, Sue just encountered two Fort Knox, so this is a you hate to see it moment when you have to get ditch of your fire flower and grab the Tanuki suit and yeah, he has to change his power-ups to make it through this level, while HaxOr is kind of dealing with the enemies in here in 7-8, so he's going also for that all that power-up in the bonus stage.
Yeah, a really good decision on his side to go ahead and do that. It keeps him protected, it keeps him safe, he got a tail out of it. He had just gone into the pipe as Small Mario, so that is a big thing. And it looks like we do have a bit of a time advantage now. Well, still have a time advantage for Stewie Cartman, but HaxOr was able to pick up just a little bit of time in this run, and it looks like he's definitely starting to run out of real estate, like LOZ Cards fan has said, because there's just not a whole lot of time left for these guys to duke it out. I mean, Stewie Cartman, like I said, he really has to make a huge problem here if HaxOr has any hope for him to come back. So, we talk about the Great Equalizer, we talked about the possibility of what could happen in World 8. We still have World 7. If there's any kind of pipe amnesia, that could be a big thing in this run, either direction.
Yeah, having some pipe amnesia when it comes to World 7, it's pretty much a huge of a deal, especially considering that maybe you have to check like at least every single pipe for that World 7 layout, and you can easily get lost in there, and that's definitely such a bad thing. And look out, this HaxOr just had a tail for this Fort Knox, so he's pretty much catching up a little bit on time for that.
Absolutely, that is a great place to have a tail. You don't have to go down and around for the Tanuki suit like we saw Stewie Cartman, but that's a big thing. Now Stewie Cartman is finished up with World 5. World 6 is coming up next. We have, of course, 5 just played, and 4 and 7 are coming up here. And it's anybody's call at this point. We've got Waterfalls on the side of HaxOr. We just saw that. We've got a Wild Tanuki appears. Get your commands in. And we got ourselves a race still. We are not done yet.
Yeah, definitely. And we get to see World 4 right now. And a pretty interesting layout where the forts are pretty much like next to each other. So, apparently this is a really jet World 4 because the forts are there, and if one of them just builds up the bridge to the castle, this is going to be finishing up really fast. So let's see how this goes.
Absolutely, and with these 2 fortresses here for Stewie Cartman, he knows there's not going to be 3, so there's nothing on the right-hand side of the screen. This is either a 1 fortress or a 2 fortress World 4. Both are not required. We definitely know one of them is, but if it's this one, obviously he's moving on really quick. And World 1 fortress could be the other one, so just not necessary. And Stewie Cartman is going to be going into World 7 very quickly, but hot on his tails is TheHaxor, who just cleared World 5. So he's going to be catching up in just a moment. We've got about a level and a half lead so far. I sure hope that's enough.
Yeah, definitely. And we get to see that this first fort wasn't the right one, so Stewie is pretty much like in a really tight situation where he just lost his Big Mario state, and going through P-Speed stratting for F1 is quite of a really bit of a challenge considering that the enemies that can actually be ahead of him. And right now Haxor is just entering for F2 that we already know that it's not the answer for it, but he's pretty much like one level and ahead, and a half behind Stewie right now.
But just so ridiculously close at this point. There is just no way to call it. I mean, if, like I said, if World 7 or World 8 gives our runners some problems, they are the last two worlds that we're going to have, so we will finish on 2 vanilla worlds. And Stewie Cartman has got to finish this off. If he has any hope of getting through this, I mean, Haxor's going to have to play another Boomerang Brother. So long as it doesn't have a very powerful item, that could help. It's a star, so that's not going to be a huge factor for Stewie there. Now the fight with Iggy is over. He's leaving. Haxor is coming in. World 7, here we come.
Yeah, definitely. We didn't get to see any of the Juggernaut clouds throughout this seed, so when someone actually gets one cloud, let's see if the way that they use it, it's going to be like the huge gamble that they are going to take on, making them win the race or not. So let's see what is going to what is the princess going to give on this letter. Oh, we didn't get to catch that.
No, these runners just blow through those so quick. If you can get any kind of a guess, it's lucky at that point. But we might see it in the inventory here in just a little bit. We've got Stewie now trying to figure out which fortress takes him to the castle, and there's probably just going to be one here.
Yeah, indeed. He found out like the nice the nice pipe that it's going to take him to the promised land. But he's going to track back and check out where is the pipe that is going to lead to the fort that he needs. And considering that there are 2 forts in this Fort 7, let's see how this ends up. I'm thrilled. I don't know how about you, Growl, but I'm pretty much like shaking up at this point, like to see like what's going to happen next.
Oh, I'm right there with you. I am just mesmerized by my screen right now. But one of the really cool things for Stewie here is that this is not a terribly complicated World 7, and so far, it feels very linear. So, he's playing well, he's playing like Stewie, and I love to see that so far. He had a star, he went ahead and went for the corner clip there, and that was a really great call. That's a really good opportunity to pick up some ground. If you hit it the first time you have star, it's low risk. He spent not even a second going after that clip. And that is classic Stewie. He loves to go for those clips, those things that don't make any sense, especially the meme ones. And just like that, he's already found the correct fortress. Now he's got to backtrack, and he's on to Ludwig.
Yeah, definitely. We got to see that in the Boom Boom fight from Stewie that Boom Boom just did a little bit of a nasty slide towards him, so he took some damage right there. But Haxor, he's pretty much playing the wrong fort by this point, and he doesn't know. But guess what? What just encountered Stewie right now? Oh my god.
5-9, the Diagonal Doom, the Waster of Time. The only fortunate part about this is it's required for both of our runners. And, Stewie's going to have to go through this. If he had a cloud, obviously this would be a perfect time to use it. I don't know that we've really seen that on either side. So if Haxor somehow gets one before Stewie Cartman can get through this, or even just when he does get up to it, it is going to be a big deal for Stewie.
Yeah, definitely. I think we haven't seen any clouds actually from both runners, so this pretty much is going to be required. And yeah, Haxor is just noticed that wasn't the fourth that he needed, so he's going to check more pipes to get to that fourth. Gets it, and now we get Stewie just using the music box and going his way to meet Ludwig.
Yeah, and the World 7 airship, what a perfect place to play the World 7 boss. So we have a bit of a threat here as well. But Stewie Cartman's just really playing in control at this point. I love this call to go ahead and use a tail. If you have any possibility of going for an off-screen one grab, you take it. That's a few seconds that you gain back, and every second is valuable at this point.
Yes, indeed. And right now, TheHaxor just finishing up this 6 of 3, and he's going backwards on his way to meet up 5-9. I guess that it was the previous level, the level previously, the Piranha level, and well, Stewie is just entering to the Great Equalizer. So let's see if he actually maintains his lead from TheHaxor on this World 8 layout, or anything can happen like in this randomizer. And oh my god, I'm shaking.
Yeah, Stewie Cartman just played that so magnificently. I mean, he found the correct fortress. He played it. It didn't break the lock right next to him. He knew that that was the end. That is exactly what he needed. Now we're going into World 8. Get your guesses in chat. How many bridges is it to Bowser? I got to go with 1. I got to see something happen real fast. Stewie Cartman gets 3F2 first. Play it. Get.
Yes, indeed, he's playing right now a 3F2. Like this is the first 4 that he would encounter, but it was the tank over there as well. But we're not sure if that tank is going to be a 4th or a level that it can happen. That would be like the fake tank. But right now TheHaxor is in a situation that he didn't save up with like his music box to skip this pyramid level, but let's see what is the item that he's going to get. And okay, it's a P-Wing. Yeah, it's a nice item to get as well.
Yeah, it's definitely not bad at all, and I love this call from Stewie Cartman. 7-4 is just not going to be a factor. He's going to go ahead and get on in here. He's going to find the first enemy. He's going to get out of this level. Now he knows the tank is not required. He doesn't have to come back to this portion of World 8. He's going to go through the pipe. He's never going to look back, never go back through this pipe again. And now he's on the hunt for Bowser.
Definitely. Now the hunt is going to begin to search up like which is the pipe that is going to lead out to Bowser Castle, and he finds it, and there's only one bridge, like keeping it from Stewie to actually take the win this time. But let's see what happens in TheHaxor's side.
I love this play to go ahead and go with the Air Force. You've got the super tanks up here. How fitting would that be for a game 2? For the super tanks to be the one that builds the bridges to go to Bowser. We've got one more level. We know it's not Atlantis. I think we know it's not Atlantis. We definitely know it's not 5-9. We just had that come up. So there's a lot of easy levels that have been not seen yet in this sea. Stewie Cartman gets any of those. Boom. You play the level. He gets to Bowser. You take him down. You can push game 3. It's go time.
Indeed, and right now we get to see that this Air Force actually broke one of the logs, and we got to see Stewie really being lucky on those hand tiles. And yeah, indeed, that he doesn't. Well, he's going to play the hand tile, but it wasn't like that much of required. While TheHaxor actually entered, the fake tank. And again, he gets another nice call on TheHaxor's side, and he's going to play this 3F2 with a frog suit. So that's awesome.
We got to get another name for this one because that was the hand level stage in a hand level stage panel in World 8.
Oh yeah, that's a friend as well. Now we get to see Stewie actually just entering to this to the hand bridge. He's going to find like the real tank that he needs to play. But let's see what's going to happen with TheHaxor. Like maybe TheHaxor is going to just start like looking up for the hand bridge, or he's going to play that Air Force. We get to see that he's entering into that fight that it's pretty much like the answer that he was looking for, but he still needs to play a fourth. So let's see what is going to be his decisions towards this.
Its fortress has just a little bit too many problems for Stewie, so he's going to go back, pick up an item here, and now finish off the fight with Boom Boom in just moments. Likely, okay, looks like he's going to go for a bit of a clip here. Okay, he doesn't exactly get through, but he will get into the fight with Boom Boom a little quicker. I actually really like this. I think it's a really good call on his part. Go ahead and get through the fight with Boom Boom. You've got to keep going. And now we'll see if that breaks the lock or not.
Yeah, sadly we don't see like any locks in here, so we're pretty much like trying to guess out if that was the answer that Stewie needed, so we're going to find out shortly. And it's not, so he has to find the pipe that is going to lead to the fort in the elbow section of the handbridge screen, while Haxor actually just took a step in the first hand tile right now.
So I kind of like the decision to go after the item here, but at the same time, I mean, he's wasting times and lives, and Stewie still has to figure out where this fortress is. Looks like the Haxor decided to go ahead and take a star into this level. I think that's a really good decision. You know, you don't really care so much about the item, but you care a lot more about what you have next, and that of course will be the hand stages that we see Stewie Cartman currently on, and of course he will be looking for the same fortress as well. So both of these guys still going after the same fortresses, pretty much in a linear line so far.
Yeah, definitely. Stewie knew that that pipe is basically the answer that he needs for that for getting to that fort, indeed. But Haxor is having a little bit of a problem in here because he just took damage, and in this first section of 8F, you need to be Big Mario to make sure that that you're able to break the locks. I mean the blocks to enter to that door and get your way to that to the rest of the fort. While Stewie was right now in 6F1, he's going to pretty much get an star kill in here.
Yeah, the Bro Orb does come out here for Stewie Cartman as he takes the star into a fight with the Boom Boom. That doesn't fare well for Stewie Cartman, or for the Boom Boom. It fares very well for Stewie Cartman, and with that, he is now going to be moving on to his fight with Bowser in just moments.
Yeah, definitely. It was pretty much a kind of a long World 8, considering that they had to play like all 4 forts. But definitely, and this is going to be like the, put on Stewie in the driver's seat, and definitely going to make a race 3 happen in a while. So I'm pretty much enthusiastic about this.
Oh, definitely. And I was about to ask if Stewie Cartman goes for the item here in 3-7. Looks like he will do so again. I think this is his final hurrah before the fight with Bowser does commence. And Haxor still having some problems with those hand level stages and actually having trouble remembering where things are at this point. He's already seen the hand stage once, but it's one of those things you just want to leave no stone unturned. No hammer suit on the side of Stewie Cartman, so he'll have to use something else. But here comes the fight with Bowser.
Yes, indeed. Stewie is going to meet up with Bowser in just shortly, while Haxor is still going to. Well, he already found out where is the answer of the bridge that is going to be built. I mean, which fort is going to build a bridge for Bowser? But yeah, definitely it's been a great match, overall, and this is going to be a nice setup for race 3.
Oh, absolutely. You've got Stewie Cartman, who's having a lot of issues getting started. Even his stream started. We had a network issue on his side. That definitely played in an effect on the first race. He's put all that aside. If I tell you that, it's going to be hard for you to believe me in that regard because of how he's playing at this point. We just saw a 44-minute run on the side of Stewie Cartman. Now he's in the fight with Bowser before 37 minutes. This is an incredible display of what Stewie can do. And the Haxor, he's going to be looking for vengeance this next race for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, in this case, we're going to. Well, I thinking about maybe how the runners must be feeling right now to get to realize that you're entering into a race 3. All the nerves, I mean, I know that these runners are quite experimenting towards it, and and all of that stuff. But if I was in their place right now, I would be like, oh my god, oh my god, I would be shaking as well. So right now, take out your GGs out for the Stewie Carman that he just finished it out like this second race with an official time buff. I guess it's 37:46. I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong, Growl.
Looks like the official time I have is a 37:47 from race time, and immediately after, Haxor will go ahead and take a forfeit. Ladies and gentlemen, you are going to want to run if you need a break right now. We are getting the second room added and cleaned up and ready to go here. We're going to get the seed rolled in just a moment. As soon as we do, we're going to be back with all the action. So we'll be back here in about 3-4 minutes. Set your alarm, do what you got to do. Go get what you need to do. Get your popcorn, get your soda, get ready. Game number 3 is coming up next. All right, we are going to be getting set up here and going in just one moment. This is round 3 coming up. We have had a fantastic display so far on both sides for both of our runners. They have just really shown extraordinary skill at this point. And what more could you possibly expect out of an incredible quarterfinals? These guys are so very good. The winner of this one will take on the winner of the race tomorrow. That is going to be Sunday, June 20th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Macobra 52 is going to be taking on Mitch Flower Power. Now, these are the same two guys that were in the finals last year, and it's very interesting to see them play each other right here because these guys both know what they're doing. They're both extraordinarily good runners. Pro 007, TheHaxor, both going to be on commentary. That is an all-star lineup right there. You do not want to miss that for sure. And we are going to be looking forward to just a spectacular run. tomorrow on that one. Wednesday, June 23rd, we have Pro A007 who will be taking on Teeks 88, and that will be commentated on by DLP 316 as well as the Crazy Dude. So you do not want to miss the action. There's going to be so much really, really good races coming out. Obviously, this is a really good one as well. We're going into Game 3. Stewie Cartman taking on the Haxor. This is Growlwolf. I'm joined by Sharkin on commentary. Get ready for Game 3, viewers. We are getting it live in just a moment.
Yes, indeed. This is going to be such a huge, well, it's such a huge and intense race overall. So, let me get your guesses in chat, like what is going to be like the first world, like because our runners is going to start out like in short. So I'm going to say it's going to be World 3, and it's not. Oh my god.
So World 7, it is an equalizer to start off for sure. Both runners taking the exact same path. I find this a little curious. I know sometimes runners will do the exact same thing, and you're kind of thinking, like, what about the randomizer part of it? But really here, we have a fortress here, but we've got two pipes. One's going to have to be, they're going to have to go through a level to get to. The other one is going to have to be gone, or they're going to have to go all the way back through the pipes and go through the other one. So it's interesting to see what's going on here. At this point, we have a sync up though.
Yeah, definitely. We're pretty much like looking that they're both in the same situation right now. Like, actually, they're just. I mean, if we could actually get like the runners like in the same game, like if we could actually place them like in the same game, or in the same screen, they would see like each other going through. And now Stewie, okay, he wanted to get into that pipe, but I think that was the wrong way. So he just encountered 5-9. So he's going to track back and check out what it's the other pipe that it was in the beginning. And oh my god, that is basically the answer for this World 7. And if I'm not mistaken, this is pretty much like a jet seat. I mean a jet World 7, because it was straight up linear, and you already have uh the pipe you needed to go to the castle. So this is so interesting so far, and apparently the reward is the cloud. So let's see how our runners are going to use it.
Absolutely, that is going to be a very, very, very valuable item. One of the most valuable in the bracket stages for sure, in my opinion. You have an opportunity to literally nope out of a stage and then go through it with a cloud. So now a HaxorR with a rare death on Ludwig von Koopa, the maestro of mayhem. The hitbox does strike again. Stewie Cartman's got to be feeling good about his chances here with the power-up. He does, that's it. 2 shots, we're out. Let's go to World 2. Get your guesses in chat.
And with Ludwig being just a 2-hitter Koopa Link, HaxorR must be like, well, he's going to be really mad when he finds out, because he pretty much like, he had like this chest bump with Ludwig, but actually it took him a death. So that's not a really nice thing for HaxorR to happen.
No, absolutely, and what a terrible, terrible place to take a death. We saw we saw an intentional death on the side of Stewie Cartman, and we saw on the side of HaxorR the unintentional against Ludwig von Koopa. That's just a hard place to be. And yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a Jet World 7. You went through a couple pipes, you found a fortress, you went back through those pipes, you found the third level or the third island with a piranha, and now you're into Ludwig von Koopa. 3 minutes. We're already through World 7, now into World 1, and we've got a huge race ahead of us.
Yeah, definitely. And we get to see also another jet world, because pretty much you're going to play 2 levels, the Hammer Bro, and you're done. So we're pretty much like going to get quite a match right now because of this world layout. So maybe, just maybe, and I'm seriously saying maybe, we get like a sub 30 seed right now.
Absolutely, and what a massive difference that would be. The first 2 races were won in like 40 and then 37 minutes, so just absolutely incredible. And now we're at 3 minutes. 4 minutes now coming up to Stewie Cartman, and he's going to be finishing off the fight with Larry in just moments.
Haxor is not that far behind. That fire kill seriously is going to give him some seconds back, trying to catch up a little bit because a normal stomp kill would take you kind of more instead of just doing a fire kill. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely right. That fire kill is a lot quicker. Now, with him having this fire flower suit going into the World 3 airship, he's going to have a very flat arena in which to take on Larry, who has Earthquake. So we may not see that fire kill come out anyway. But with this big Larry, that would be a very good way to use this. The cut in time is just going to be huge.
Yeah, definitely. We just got to see that Haxor just stumped 2 times over Larry, and he was able to manage out to do the 10 shots to the Koopaling, and now he's, on the falling cutscene, the same thing as Stewie, but this pretty much like cut the lead that Stewie had, like, in, yeah. I'm speechless right now, sorry. Seriously, I'm just thrilling about this race.
Yeah, Pro A actually has it in chat here. I was going to say it's only like 4 seconds. Now, going into this next part, this is anybody's game. It literally truly is. I mean, these guys are so good. They both know how the randomizer works. They both know how the vanilla game works. These guys have so much knowledge, experience, and really just veterancy in their belts at this point. These guys are going to be pushing this possibly all the way down to Bowser.
Indeed. Now we get to see 2 pipes in there. And yeah, this pipe is going to be maybe the one he needs, but oh no, he needs to go to the Lampard again, and he needs to play that blue 4 that we encountered on the land part right now.
What a terrible start to World 5. If they only play the Blue Fortress, they will have to go through the tower. Otherwise, they could play the other fortress, and that should build the bridge at the bottom part on the left-hand side, go back through, and then go through that pipe, and that'll take them back to where they need to be. So a bit of a choice that these guys are going to have to make. Do you play the tower, or do you see a fortress? If it's an easier fortress, 3F1, 1-1-1, or 2-1, one of those, maybe it's a good choice. It looks like that's exactly what Stewie's going to do, and I think he will go after the Boom Boom fight here, obviously, so he doesn't have to worry about that bridge.
Yes, definitely. And right now we get to see that Haxor actually is taking, some items, and he's going to enter to the Twisty Castle, so we're going to see which one was actually a faster decision, like if enter into this Twisty Castle, or just taking on Boom Boom.
Fire Flower on the side of Stewie Cartman would have made that a lot quicker, but with the World 1 Fortress, that was a much quicker route. Even with the P-Speed strats that TheHaxor has, Stewie Cartman now is going into the sky again, and we've still got a bit of time on the side of Haxor. So Stewie Cartman is able to build to a lead again. This is just incredible. Every little thing that these guys do is really starting to echo and resound in their run as they're gaining and clawing time back and stealing it from their opponent. We went from a 4-second to about an 18-second jump, and it's so close at this point now. It's almost a level's difference.
Yeah, definitely. And not to mention that both of them have a cloud. So let's see if actually Haxor, just starts to get a little bit impatient and, just use it. Or he's going to, wait up and continue, just playing the levels. But nonetheless, there's an actual hammer bro just guarding the castle right now. So that's going to be another, like, up to 13 seconds, I guess, of a lead to Stewie in case that, that Stewie is not going to play that bro, but Haxor is going to play it, so let's see what's going to happen now.
Chad just brought up an extraordinary point. Haxor has an extra hammer, and with all 4 of the hammerable worlds still remaining, that could spell a huge advantage one way or another. And if Stewie isn't able to come up with a hammer, and it is useful, especially in something like World 6, which could be a huge change, that may be a leadership change as well. We'll have to wait and see.
Definitely. And right now we get to see Stewie have a little bit of problems in this 8-1. He took some damage. He lost his his power ups, and Haxor is just catching up like so fast right now.
Absolutely. 8-1 with the Fire Flower, a huge change on the side of the Haxor, and with that, he will leave right behind Stewie Cartman. But if this item is a good one, we have not seen a whole lot of good items out of Stewie Cartman yet. So a Music Box on the side of the Haxor may be a help, especially to keep the guys out of marathon mode, but we'll have to see if that's a huge factor later.
Oh no, and we get to see Stewie like having a really nasty hitbox from Royd as well, and he's a heavy Roy, so oh no, and he just took a death, and right now Haxor is going to take that lead by doing like a fire kill right now, so this is not looking good for Stewie, but hopefully he can actually catch up a little bit.
Yeah, that was a very, very scary fight with Roy that Stewie Cartman had just a moment ago. And for that to end in a hitbox, I mean, you hate to speculate too early. It's still only World 3, but is that going to be a factor? I mean, couple that with the fact that Haxor has not lost his Fire Flower in quite some time. He is really playing at a high level here. Game 3 was pushed, and right now the Haxor doesn't look happy, but neither does Stewie Cartman. They're both playing very well.
Yes, indeed. And right now, we get War 3, and we're going to see that Haxor is going to check first the pipe and see if he takes it like somewhere. But let's see if Haxor is going to do like that double hammer thing. But apparently he's not. So he's going to play this level and then play the board. So let's see what's going to happen on the Stewie side.
Yeah, and this World 3 is not looking friendly yet. We've got, there's the idea of maybe going after the hammers play there. If you've got the hammers, maybe use them. But if you don't, if you don't play something risky here and you get it wrong, you're in trouble. So Stewie Cartman now going for a 5-3 beta. I think it would have been an interesting call to go for a double hammer. You've got the fortress there. I think this is just too close to call at this point. These guys are taking a divergence en route. Going to be really interesting to see what comes next.
Definitely. Let's see if actually the call out from Stewie is going to help him out, like considering that he didn't apply the rule of see a fort, play a fort, but he got to see one of the locks in there, so let's see if in that section of the world that he is, he might need the lock or not, and apparently he would, but let's see if that's the case.
Okay, I was starting to get really, really scared, but Stewie Cartman actually is not going to be that far behind here. He did take a divergence of path, but it's really just going to all roads lead to Rome kind of situation here, because he's going to take the pipe that Haxor just took. And now Haxor, who is taking care of his level very nicely, 3-9 here, he is going to be blowing through it, and Stewie Cartman's going to be on this one in just a moment. The only question is, does he take the bottom path? And it looks like so far he is. So if he goes to the 7th panel, that's going to put him on 3-9. They're both going to go for the fortress and then find Windy right after.
Indeed. Apparently, yes. Stewie is going to enter to 3-9 right now. So let's see what's going to be like the next four that they're going to play. And right now, Haxor in a really scary situation of being in a water bro fight, but luckily he had a star, so he wouldn't get like any troubles with it.
So I did mess up on that, I apologize. Haxor played a fortress already, and that was on the left-hand side. Meanwhile, Stewie Cartman did not play the same levels, therefore he has not defeated the fortress. And I do believe he's going to go after 3F2 here. If there was any possibility that the lock was not in front of Windy's castle, he could have gone straight through the pipe and found out that he had a free shot. There's a very good chance it was in front of the pipe, though, and because of that, he will have to play 2 more fortresses, both 3F2 and the one that Haxor played just a moment ago.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, Haxor taking some leading here on this race, but we still have to. Well, we're right now in the half of the seed, pretty much with a 14-minute mark. So this might be also like a really fast seed. I'm still calling it. It would be like a sub 30, but let's see what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I mean, especially with some of the levels that we've seen so far, World 7 was super fast. We've got World 3 now that's just not going to take any more time. And Stewie Cartman now finding out the bad news, he is going to have to go back and play another Fortress. So he's going to take just a little bit more time on that. Meanwhile, World 4 now up for the TheHaxor. And time is just running out as we are, like you said, 14 minutes in. That is a very good possibility for a sub 30.
Well, but considering like this World 4 layout, apparently they're going to be like playing a lot of levels in here, considering that the forts are pretty much like in the well, in talking like from the vanilla game, like in the first two tiles of this World 4. So let's see if Stewie is going to uh, do another, another type of routing in here, like maybe using a cloud, like right after the forts, or he will just use the music box or something. So yeah, we're just waiting to see what the Stewie is going to do on this World 4 layout, while TheHaxor is just finishing out for F2.
Yeah, the biggest chance for Stewie to come back here is definitely to start playing riskier, more aggressive. We had a little bit of an issue with routing. I don't know that there's really a play to make here. I mean, fortunately, it looks like TheHaxor is going to go back and check. Just found out the bridge is not built, so he will have to play the second one. So all three forts will be required for sure in this regard. But we do still have 3 more worlds. There is a possibility for Stewie to catch up. He's about 2.5 levels behind at this point. Really needs to get it in gear and do something really amazing, or we're going to be crowning a champion here in just a moment.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, TheHaxor was quite doing like a blink competition maybe with the booth, because he was really close to it, and oh my god, luckily he didn't get any damage or something, but yeah, that's something that it would be like a really awkward situation of getting damage in there.
Absolutely, and you know, it just shows how comfortable these guys are playing this game at such a high level. You know, even to just be that close, we're all just a little like, "Uh-oh," and he's like, "Yeah, whatever, I got this."
Yeah, indeed.
Or to LOZ Cards fan with their tongues, it might be quite an unpleasant experience. I think that depends on what side of the fence you're on there, LOZ. I think it could go both ways, but we're not going to do anything more with that. Meanwhile, Stewie Cartman just trying to get through the fortresses as quickly as possible and claw back any ground he could possibly make.
Indeed, and right now he is pretty much TheHaxor is pretty much like in the hand tree stage with the cheap chips. He's doing a really nice job, like trying to dodge everything that was on his way. And let's see what's going to be the reward for this hand stage. It's a feeling.
So the P-Wing is definitely a nice thing to have. If you've got 7-6 come up, 6-5, some of those, then you can fly over the level, and that's actually a really nice thing to do. It's an easy way to use it, or most likely, we'll actually see it going into a fight with an airship, because that is a chance for an off-screen wand grab. And at this point, both the TheHaxor and Stewie Cartman are going to be looking for whatever ground that they can make up, both because they believe they're behind, and to kind of distance themselves of what the other runner would do.
Yeah, and right now TheHaxor just took an easy fight, like it was a one-hitter, a lightweight fight right here. And Stewie is going to, well, he's going to continue doing some of the levels remaining for this World 4 layout, so let's see which world is going to happen next. I'm going to say it would be like World 2.
Time is definitely running out on this race, And as we do get down to the final worlds here, we are going to be looking for any kind of a divergence from our runners. World 6 is a really good place to do that, but Haxor still has that hammer that we saw before that I believe came from like World 5. I think it was one of the Hammer Brothers on the bottom. So, there's still just not a lot of time left. 8-2 is very nice with the Fire Flower suit. Unfortunately, the Cheap Cheap is just not going to play along.
Yeah, right now Stewie had a fire flower, but he decided to change it up with a leaf. Yeah, I was about to guess that Stewie was going to use the clouding here because it's just one level like in between you and the castle, so you better just skip it. But doesn't know that it's actually a hand stage, so he won't have like an extra P-win that. Right now, interesting decision from Haxor that he didn't take the intentional death considering that he has P-wings, and he just went out to the Tanuki suit. There's actually a curious fact that if you actually take the intentional death instead of doing this Tanuki route, it's kind of a little bit faster actually.
Yeah, that just shows how long this map does take. A lot of runners will think, oh, it's just 3 blocks in the first room, and then you jump over, you go to the Tanuki suit, and it's really just as long as the P-switch lasts. But you're absolutely right. If you take all that first store, go all the way to the right, take an intentional death in the lava there, that just shows how fast it shows how long the level can be, because that, you're absolutely right, is quicker. You leave, you add a tail or a P-wing, whichever one you have, and you go from there. So it's a little crazy, but it does work.
Oh, and we get to see that this was pretty much a Jet World 6 as well, because Haxor is just on his way to Lemmy's in his original arena, so wow.
Haxor just playing on a completely different level at this point. He is just doing so good. World 6 Airship has nothing for him. He's now through. He went for a off-screen wallet grab with the Danuki suit, but that is still going to be a command out of the side of Haxor, and now just having problems on the side of Stewie Cartman. He is going to take the P-wing. He noticed the level, he decided to do like what we were just talking about, and now that will be a fight with Boom Boom. That'll be a little bit of time saved, but not a whole lot because he did have to take that intentional death. Meanwhile, because the Haxor did use the hammer, that means he's going to be on to World 7 here in just a moment, and there's not a whole lot left.
Yeah, and there's actually a cloud on Haxor's side, so also I think that Stewie doesn't have a hammer, so this might be huge for Haxor. But I'll shut up because the Fire Bros just gave a hammer to Stewie, so he's pretty much going to use that and skip all this nonsense World 6, and he's on his way to fight Lemmy as well.
I think the only thing I have determined about commentating with you is you're messing with my commentator's curse. You've got like this commentator's blessing thing going on, and I'm not sure I like it. No, that was a fantastic call, and that hammer was in the perfect place at the right time. Now that's the World 6 airship. He's going to be going into World 2 here in just one moment, which has pretty much 3 required levels, 2 of which are fortresses, 1 is a level, and you've just got to get through them the old-fashioned way.
Alright, and now we get to see Haxor doing like this clouding, doing some clouding in here, and he is off to the Great Equalizer right now, while Stewie, I guess that he just had, I think he had just one cloud, if I'm not mistaken.
That would have been if he picked up another one, but the play from Haxor there was ideal. He has no more places to use anything, so he goes ahead, he knows his route is open, he played the fortress, he put the Boomerang Brother to sleep, cloud, onto the castle. It's World 1 airship with Morton at the end. Just not a big deal. If anything, Stewie has one cloud at this point, because we saw him take one in World 4, and the item discrepancy at this point is getting huge.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to see like which fort is going to be like the next one that Haxor just clouded out, but But right now, Haxor entered into the fake tank, but I think, yeah, he was about to take an intentional death in this level, but then he was like, oh wait, there's a pipe like uh, next to this tank, and I should not die here. I have to play it. So yeah, he completely recovered himself from that one.
A very good call for sure. If he does have to come back, that's one level you don't really want to see again. Fort 2's not dangerous, but with that Angry Sun and Boss Bass combo, it's not one that you can really shake a stick in. So you've got to make sure that you get through it. 3F1 on the side of Stewie Cartman, so not a terrible fortress to skip. But it's really just not one of the harder ones in the game. Either way, it was a time save though for the Haxor, and with that, he is blowing through 5F2 and the rest of World 8.
Yes, indeed. And right now, Stewie just using a star to take out this bro, and guess what? He gets a music box right when he doesn't need it. But it will just cloud, and he's on his way to the great equalizer. So we're pretty much going to watch like this hunt towards Bowser Castle right now.
You know, being on the desk, it's really hard for us because we see what's going on here in nearly real time, and obviously we're going to be the first ones that can see it and know what's going on. But for Stewie, you know, I just hope so bad that he takes a bit of a divergence here. If he can find something out a lot quicker than the Haxor does, or even just gets really, really lucky with some really ridiculous guesses here. I mean, for lack of a better term, he's got to do something to get him in this. The worst thing that he could possibly have right now is a linear setup on World 8, and if he can figure anything out fast, he needs to take it as an option.
Indeed. Right now, Haxor is just playing like, I think he's the second out of fourths of this World 8. So let's see what's going to happen right now. Stewie did take the intentional death in there because he knew about it, so he's going to start checking up pipes in here. So let's see if that's going to be a difference.
I love the play. I really truly do. I like the idea to not play 4-2. You don't know if it's required yet. You really don't have items at this point equipped. Might as well go for what you know, and that's right now 5F2. So Stewie Cartman with a brilliant speed strat there was able to garner back a mushroom, and now a death on the side of the Haxor means he's going to have to play that again.
Yeah, he takes an intentional death because he knew that he had appealing for this level, so he would just take, you know, some of the vanilla strats of flying underneath those bomb sections, and he downed it pretty well. So let's see what happens next. Well, Stu is actually in 8F, so let's see if this fourth actually breaks up something, or you know, Stu is actually breaks up something, because I'm not sure if Haxor knows that where is that fourth. But well, you know what, never mind, he's going to enter it anyways.
This is so interesting. If World 8 Fortress is the right one, and this takes Stewie to another part of the world, which of course we haven't seen yet because the Haxor hasn't played this yet. So if the Stewie Cartman is able to get through a lot quicker here, obviously Haxor is going to be storming right back as well, but with that, Stewie can go for an early quick kill here. So he is going to have a bit of an advantage. Now granted, Haxor has played an extra fortress that Stewie Cartman has not yet, and the other was 4-2. So if neither one of those are required, unfortunately that is a lock break on the side of Stewie Cartman. So he's still going to have to look just a little bit further, but I think you've got to find where Bowser is and hopefully do it quickly.
Indeed. Now Haxor has he knows the same he has now the information he wanted, and yep, that's the elbow part of the bridge, and well, this might be it for Haxor.
Yeah, what a play by the Haxor. I mean, it was linear enough. There was a fortress that was required that was part of the L, and Haxor just going to be going through Bowser's Castle probably for the final time here, unless something goes horribly awry. He will be getting through this here quickly. Stewie Cartman just putting on an exceptional effort, unfortunately just fell a little too short, a little too early. But what a play by both of these runners. I mean, a game three, you're 29 minutes in at this point. You're in Bowser's Castle, a much different atmosphere than the last two. And what a turnaround of events. I mean, we love the seconds away, but even this one is only going to be a minute or two between the two runners. So, what a great set.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they brought up a really nice show, like not only for the viewers in here on this channel, but for us, as commentators. We definitely had a lot of things that we actually want to see, like in the race. We got to see Atlantis. We got to see 5-9 like being played. So yeah, definitely a really nice match today. So. Right now, Haxor doing a cuddle kill. Like some people say that you just cuddle like next to Bowser until he kills himself. But yeah, give it up. Your GG is out to the Haxor, and he's going to the semifinals right now.
GG for sure. We'll see if we can get him in here in just a little bit for some commentary or with some interview here. What a game on both sides. I mean, Stewie Cartman just played an absolutely astounding match. Have the internet issues in the first one. He was able to shake that off. He was able to come right back and play through it and win game two, force game three. And except for just two small issues, World 3 with some routing problems, and then he had a bit of a hitbox on Roy. But other than that, just an absolutely astounding run for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We got to see that Haxor didn't even check the item, that it was like like in the small hallway from this Bowser castle. Let's see if it was a flower or something, just in case that it might be like a faster kill on Bowser. But definitely. Oh no, it's just a star, so it's okay. But right now, just Stewie trying to get up there and make a clip. And meanwhile, we have the winner with us in the commentary booth. And yeah, definitely GG Haxor.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, I don't feel like a winner. Yeah. I mean, the third seed went well. That's what I'll say.
I know that the first and the second seed were kind of long, and yeah, definitely we got to see that there were a lot of things going on in there. But both of you pretty much put out a great show so far, and definitely the differences, like in routing and in in the items used, and like a couple of deaths here and there. It was overall a really nice match in between both of you guys. So yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, shout out to Ludwig for being entirely unfair and screwing me over. Thank you very much. Love you.
Yeah, that the chest bumps from Ludwig and Roy would definitely just yeah, they happen. They can happen. It's the randomizer is well known for having like this unfair like hitboxes in the Koopa Links fight, so it can happen. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, the double high jump, man, that was so frustrating. Just right. Well, it wasn't even frustrating. I was just like, I'm not even surprised, honestly. That was just I kind of had that feeling today. But the rest of Seed, I played pretty well. Did he end up having a hammer for World 6 as well in Seed 3?
Oh yeah, that was absolutely something that happened. Like you got that hammer from the War 5 bros, and definitely that gave you out a kind of a lead in here. I mean, I don't want to spoil the race unless you want to actually watch it, but you really did an amazing job in your routing overall, and the items usage as well. Like in that world too, like double skip in with the clouds. That you knew that you weren't going to need like the clouds like for the rest of the seeds. So yeah, you made a fantastic job. Like,
Because
by
we
doing that.
did actually, that was weird. So there were that was 3 seeds in a row where there was a level in front of Bowser's castle. It's really rare for me to ever see that, to be like a numbered level, but to get it 3 seeds in a row is so strange.
It was 3 seeds in a row. I think that in the first one it was just a hand tile, I guess, but I'm not sure about it. I mean,
okay.
it happened like 2 hours ago, and the excitement of the race that you guys put out, just blurred my memory right now. But overall, like yeah, in the first race, yeah, there were a lot of, well, you actually got the lead like really early, to be honest, and you kept it like all the way through the whole seed. And for the second match, it happened that the divergence in route, it's saying that some of the death were basically what Stewie needed for pushing out a game 3. And yeah, right
Yeah.
now this race 3 was really interesting to watch. And yeah, definitely, you guys put out a great show. Also, here it is with us as well as Stewie Carmen and Gigi. Man, you definitely did an amazing job today. I know that first this race wasn't like what you wanted to be, but you totally recovered yourself in the second one, and it was it was just thrilling enough for us.
Yeah, we don't talk about game 1.
Did you just not use the pipe in World 2? It kind of sounds
No.
like you just didn't use the pipe. Oh my
I did not
god, so
even
you
think
played
to.
like... Wow.
I game over
Okay.
7-5.
Oh my god. Yeah. I didn't... Yeah, 7-5. If you took the pipe, you just had to play 3 levels. And 7-5 obviously wasn't one of them, so that's why I didn't
Go
play
back
it.
and watch that race 1 7-5 and you'll see why it tilted.
Yeah, the crazy thing is if you played the fort right away and then you went in the pipe, you would have only had to play 2 levels, but there's no way of knowing it, because what happened is when you go on the other side of the pipe, there's a fort right there. And
Yeah,
so yeah.
I checked the pipe first and then played the fort.
Okay. Yeah, and then you just didn't go back in.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. In this third match, actually, I think that you pretty much did like a lot of jet worlds, like World 1 and World.
Yeah.
I mean, the World 1 layout, the World 7 layout. I think the World 6. Actually, Stewie, yeah, you got really locked out like in that World 6, don't you? With the hammer, coming from the hammer, bro.
After that death on Roy, I just assumed I was behind the whole time. So I knew I had to take some gambles.
I died on Ludwig because he high jumped immediately and then immediately high jumped again. So I
got hitboxed by Roy on the 5th hit.
Oh, okay. Yikes.
Yeah, that was pretty
that
much
World
like
5.
the switch.
That World 5 was pretty long because you had to go. Thankfully, the first pipe was the pipe that took you up, so you got the scout up, okay, and then you're like, okay, I gotta go down, play the fort, go back up through the tower, play 3 levels. I actually got a hammer from... I played one of the bros.
Is this the one that... The second... Where both the forts are on the ground and one of them was 1F?
Yep,
or was that...
indeed.
Oh,
okay,
I see.
you
played the fort.
And then I played
Okay.
1F, and then I just took the pipe back to the sky.
Yeah, that would have been pretty good as well. I don't think it really mattered because I was able to just P-speed through the tower. I didn't know what the fort was going to be. Of course, I should have figured it might have been 1F because it wasn't required, but yeah.
Yeah, in your case, Haxor, I think that you were kind of behind because of the hammer bro fight, but you got a hammer right there. And
Yeah.
But in Suicide, yeah, he just he played the fort, the blue fort, then went to the orange fort, and it was 1F. So he pretty much completed that like really quickly, and then he had the bridge and went up to the Skyland as well. But as Stewie just mentioned right now, he was really unfortunate to die like to the 5th hit to Roy. He was a really heavy Roy, and yeah, that sucks. I can imagine like quite being like I can imagine, that feeling of being behind just by dying to that part, and I
I
was
had
mentioning.
I had a
Sorry,
feeling
go ahead.
that death was always gonna seal it.
Pretty much yes. Like if you ask me, yeah, it was pretty much like the thing that happened because well, like I
Yeah, I think I
mentioned,
kept Fire Flower for like almost 2 entire worlds, and that was part of it
that
was
was
right there.
impressive. Yeah, absolutely. I was about to mention that out as well because that was huge. Like for you to, I mean, for us to watch you like keeping the firefly for a bunch of levels, considering how randomizer can actually behave, to the runner.
Hmm.
It was quite a really nicely done on your end, and yes,
Yeah, I got 8-2. If I didn't lose P speed, I still would have kept it longer. But yeah, it didn't really matter because I think what happened is I took damage and then it was 7F1 afterward anyway, or something like that. I remember that did happen where I was like, I took damage and I was seeing the fort. I was like, whatever. And then I go and that's I'm like, oh, awesome.
it's funny because you entered to 8-2 twice, but I didn't get to watch you use your sands. What happened there? What is going
Um,
on?
Didn't I enter with fire both times? If I enter with fire, I'd rather just do it normal because it is faster. Plus, there's the cheap there both times, but of course, I ended up taking damage, so it was still faster, but it wasn't as fast as it could have been.
I know, I'm just messing with you with your sands.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. If I went in small, I definitely would have taken it. But yeah, going in with fire, I should at least try to P speed through. It just, that second enemy screws you over a lot there. And yeah, if you get the cheap right away, it's pretty much the worst thing.
Yeah, also, Stewie, in your case, I think that something that, well, you both were in World 8 in this third race, like at the same time. You both were looking at where the pipe to Bowser was and everything. But the thing is that Haxor came in first because he used the two clouds before the levels in World 2, and you just only had one, and because you used the other one in World 4, and let me tell you, Stu, you basically cleared out a hand stage, so it wasn't
Of
like
course I did.
yeah, it wasn't like that like worth like on the latter half of the game, but it's still like the hunt for the Bowser Castle was pretty nice actually because
What was the
I know
hand
that.
item?
Sorry.
As P-Wing.
Oh yeah, it had a Pewin, and yeah, absolutely for the World 8. It was funny to watch that Haxor enter to the fake tank, and he wanted to take like the intentional death in there, but he was like, no, wait, there's a pipe on the other side, so I
Yeah.
must actually complete the level.
Yeah, I was thinking about. I was like, wait, this wasn't on because there's a hand stage on the up portion. So I was like, yeah, no, I should complete this just in case. And then yeah, sure enough, the first fort I beat brings you back, and you have to go in that pipe, and that brings you to the hand bridge. And yeah, you didn't actually have to go that way either, which was interesting. But
No, I think I took a different route in World 8.
Yeah, you did.
yeah, if you just went out the pipe and you just went right, I'm pretty sure you were good. You could have gone straight to Bowser.
Yeah, but you guys, both of you, went all through the four forts. Yeah, Stewie just did take the intentional death in that fake tank, and then he was, just making sure like he is going to find the pipe to Bowser, and yeah, like it was kind of close on this one, like the routing for the World 8, but Haxor just got it first in the Bowser Castle, and it kind of sucked the fact that there wasn't like any power-ups like inside the Bowser Castle that would let you guys to do like a nice fast kill, but you had to.
I honestly didn't even check because that box is never a fire flower. I mean, it is sometimes, but it hardly ever is. Yeah, of course. I'm like, by the time I get this fire flower, get back up there, then clip, it's like, you know, I'm only saving like 10 to 15 seconds if it's a fire flower. I don't know.
But overall, you guys did an amazing show. You guys definitely done a great match because you know to take out this match to race 3, it's just by saying that it just makes all people excited, and you know like I guess that both of you were kind of, oh, okay, this is game 3, this is now or never. And yeah, like you both did an impressive job today, and again, congrats to the Haxor of for moving forward on the brackets and going to the semifinals. And I guess that you're going to face whoever is Mitch or Macobra, right?
Yep. Whoever wins that one. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, that's going to be like not so much for sure as well. And yeah, I think that tomorrow is going to be the that match in between Mitch and Macobra. So yeah, people need to watch that, of course. So any other thoughts like before we wrap this matchup?
I'm just gonna go burn that game 1 seed now.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. At least when I realized at the end, I was like, wow, okay, so the path to Bowser was free if you went to the tank. And then I entered the tank. I'm like, well, he never would have played this first.
No.
So I was like, you know, I bet he played everything before this like I did.
Oh yeah. Like, because I saw that tank and I'm like, this is way too obvious. There's no way.
Yeah, it was rough. I just kind of laughed when it was Atlantis. So I was like, of course it is. Of course it's Atlantis.
Oh yeah.
And then I laughed again when there was the level gatekeeper before Bowser again. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like,
what was that?
You get it was yeah, I don't know. It was 4-4. But yeah, you noticed that too, right? Every seed had a gatekeeper level before Bowser. Yeah. What is that?
I didn't even know what this one was because I clouded it.
Yeah, same, because we got the cloud at the end of the last world.
Yeah, we got actually curious about like which one would have been, but imagine if you weren't like had a cloud and that level ended up being like Atlantis, or yeah, it was Atlantis because we got to see 5-9 from the Stewie side. You don't want to know where the 5-9 was, Haxor, so.
Oh, was that in World 2? Did I cloud it?
It was in the World 7 map. It was right after the fort. Because I checked that one next to the pipe.
Huh.
And then as soon as I saw it was 5-9, I just had
I see. Okay.
Because I was thinking, I thought that pipe was going to take it to the end, and it might have.
It probably did.
Yeah. What I saw was 5-9. I'm like, no. Not worth it.
Yeah, I never even checked it because I knew I had the free pipe check back at the other island. Then when I saw that it broke the lock, I was like,
first.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't check it first. But when I screen scrolled, saw the lock was broken. I'm like, crap. I gotta do this other fort. And so then I went back, went in the pipe, and that took you to the fort. And I'm like, okay.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, I don't know. Those first two were something. I'm interested to see where you got a lot of time on me in the second seed.
Yeah, I don't know.
I did die in 5-3, which was, I mean, there were 10 Paragoombas. I mean, I went in with fire.
That 5-3 sucked.
Yeah, I went in with fire, and I'm like, oh yeah, this will be easy. It's 5. And then every enemy is a Paragoomba. Every enemy in the bottom was a Paragoomba. There were like 5 in the top. What the hell?
Wasn't there a boss bass too?
Yeah, there's a boss bath as well. I mean, yeah, whatever. I was like, this is garbage because they just phase through the map. Like, one just drops from the sky. I'm waiting for it. I know it's going to happen. One just anchors out of the sky. You're like, wow, that's real fair. I love Paragoombas. Anyway, GG Stu.
GG.
And you got one win against me. It's the first time.
Unfortunately, it was not enough. Oh well.
I mean, it was pretty close. Honestly, you probably could have won the first race if you didn't
If
do
I
what
didn't
you
make that
did
mistake
in first
in the
world.
World 2
Yeah,
map, I would have.
yeah.
It would have been a lot
You
closer.
probably would have won. You probably would have won, to be honest.
I'm gonna have to go back and see
I
how
died a
much
few
time that
times.
wasted.
But... Yeah, someone said it was like 6 minutes.
Oh my god.
And you only lost by 4, so. But yeah, anyway, GG, man. Thanks for the commentary, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for SpeedGaming for putting it on. Thanks to Stu for the exciting matches. And good luck to the nerds racing tomorrow. Mitch is not supposed to lose until I lose, so he's got to win. But if he does lose, then that's fine too, I guess. I'll race Macobra. He's pretty good.
Well, a little bit of shade here, but definitely entertaining as always. So thank you guys for sure for the incredible match. I know I had a lot of fun. Sharkin and I were going back and forth, even in the general text chat during the race. I'm like, yeah, we need a break after this one. Like, it's a nice thing that we have a few minutes in between because it was just really exciting. And I know we were excited for all of it. And what a great race to run. But with that, that is going to be our time for today. So thank you so much for being here with us today. There's a lot of places that you could be, but you're here with us, chat, and we really do appreciate that. From all of us at SMB3 Randomizer, from SpeedGaming, everybody that puts this on behind the scenes, you guys rock. You know who you are, and we appreciate you so much. On behalf of Stewie Cartman, TheHaxor, Sharkid, this is Growlwolf signing off for now, saying keep racing, keep randomizing. Take care.
Have a good one, everybody.
Thank you.